Hello there.
Hello there.
And welcome to What If Qui-Gon Didn't Die. My name's Jamie.
And my name's Shaun.
And we are doing something slightly different this Monday.
This Monday is a special Monday. It's the travel edition.
It's the special holiday edition.
Jamie's going on some travels today on BBC One. Join us at 7 p.m. to see how he gets on.
That sounded really good. I like that.
Thank you.
So normally this would be our Star Wars episode.
It would be, yeah.
So I'm sorry if you were here for Star Wars. Today we're going to do something slightly different because Shaun got very excited about all the Warhammer stuff.
Yeah.
For Friday's episode.
The previous Friday you've hopefully listened to was a lot of me just, being a space marine.
Listen, it's been 2.5 weeks since we last spoke to each other.
Yeah, so
you had a lot to say.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Yeah, we enjoy it. We enjoy it. So today we're actually gonna listen to, because Jamie's been away, and I would love to know. We've obviously outside of this looked at photos and had a good chinwag, but let's let the dear listener hear where you've been, what you've been up to, what was beautiful, what was weird, what was crazy.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, mate. So, I went to Madeira.
He went to Madeira.
Which is a...
Cake.
Cake. Not from Madeira,
no.
Actually.
Funnily enough, yes.
That's an English cake. The island of Madeira is an autonomous state of Portugal.
Yeah.
Beautiful little island. Very diverse.
Yeah, wow.
Very diverse. So I was there for just shy of 1 week with the hope of exploring as much of the island as possible.
Yeah.
I can say I've driven around it basically twice.
Yeah, because that's just how small it is.
Yeah, I mean, it takes some time, but I've done it.
Yeah.
Wonderful place. Really, really liked it. It's about 4 hours away on a plane. Worth a visit, first of all. Say. So I showed Shaun some of the pictures, some of the footage that and some of the video that I've got from when I was there.
Yeah, great pictures.
Yeah,
loved them.
Really happy. I'll turn that into a video at some point in the future.
And it will be in the... We'll put it in the...
Yeah.
Sort of blurb or whatever.
It'll be some time away yet, but we'll be there eventually.
Yeah.
I've still got to make this Lithuania Latvia video as well.
You haven't, yeah.
I'm some way behind. I'm gonna start getting told off soon. It was great. The thing that struck me most when I was there was how different the island was, depending on where you were in the island.
Yes.
So we stayed in the south. So Funchal is the capital. So we arrived at the airport and we drove down to the capital, which was right next to it. And we had a little wander around there. Walked down a street full of little restaurants, touristy type restaurants.
Yeah.
Had something to eat there. Exactly what you'd expect from a touristy type
street
restaurant.
Yeah.
Trap type place. But then we took a cable car up this mountain, because the whole island is basically just a series of mountains.
It's almost like a star, isn't it? Kind of, with all the outcrops. It looks like a little mini star.
Yes,
and you've got the big mountain in the middle, but it's actually a mountain range.
Yeah,
just so the viewer can imagine it. It's like a mountain range in the middle.
Yeah,
and obviously because it's a volcanic island, and it all comes down to the sea on each side, and it's sort of separated into quadrants, which is really interesting, which Jamie will get to in a minute.
So we took this cable car up, and it takes you over. So the cable car starts at the coast, and then it takes you over the whole of the city.
Yeah, literally just looking down at the city, going up. Yeah,
straight over it, and then up a mountain. Now, we had an activity planned for the top of the cable car. Sherry's planned all this. This was actually a birthday treat for me, an early birthday treat.
Oh yeah,
because it's
getting the treats in early.
Yeah, because it's a milestone birthday for me this year.
You are 22.
Yes, that's the key milestone we all know.
What is it in Hobbits? In Hobbits, isn't it? In their when they reach 30, that's their big birthday. You're finally 30.
Yeah, I've made it. Yeah, so she's planned this all. So we're in the cable car and we're going up and we're going up and we're still going up and we're going up. And I'm sitting there thinking, I wonder what... Like, I know what the activity is when we get to the top.
Yeah.
The car's all the way at the bottom and we're still going and we've only got a one-way ticket.
Yeah, so you're hoping that this activity gets you to the bottom of the mountain to get back to the motor.
Yeah. So eventually we get off. And Sherry looks at me and she looks and sort of has this sort of like, and I said, I know what you're going to say. That was a lot longer than you expected it to be.
Yeah, considering it's a mountain.
So when we get to the top, the activity we're going to do is essentially it's tobogganing.
Tobogganing.
So what it is, it's a two-person seat. Bench seat.
It's almost like a sled.
Exactly like that.
It's like a sled, but there's no wolves pulling you up front.
No, in fact, there's two Madeiran men pushing you down a hill.
But they look amazing with their little hats, by the way.
Yeah, they look great.
Yeah,
and they're super cool.
Yeah, they're just like sunshine boys, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I nearly bought one of their hats. But yeah, this toboggan then takes us down the hill.
Yeah,
and we're sort of drifting round corners. In my head, I've got Tokyo Drift. As we're heading down, 2 kilometers it takes you down, which is good. But the car is another 3 kilometers away.
So you get down there, and these 2 dudes, people, they're stood on the back of the sled essentially.
Yeah.
And they're using their shoes to run and push you around the corners, or they're using their body weight to move.
Yeah, a bit of both, yeah.
So it's like rear-wheel drive sled.
Yeah.
Almost.
It is, yeah.
And I watched the video, and it is super cool. And you're actually, in some bits, you are going quick.
It is pretty quick, and I don't know if it's that we're going actually that fast.
It looks quick, though, because you're not in a car, though.
And because we're quite low down, because of the way that we're sat.
Yeah,
It's very open. Yeah, and the road is polished.
Yeah, because they're also on metal rungs, aren't they? Metal, not rungs, that's the wrong word, isn't it? But they're all metal...
No, I think it's all wood.
Oh, it's wood?
Yeah.
Oh, so, yeah, the wood would polish the tarmac then.
Yeah,
The roads do look like somebody's got a bit
they're
of...
shiny, aren't they?
Mr. Sheen and just...
Yeah.
all the way down the hill there, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so then we had a 3-kilometre walk back down. And it's downhill. And proper downhill, like not just...
It's not easy strolling going downhill because your ankles are changing to your body weight.
We both had blisters on our toes.
Because you're pushing in the shoes, yeah.
As we were walking down, we did encounter a couple of people they looked like they were ready for hiking, like they're proper full-on gear.
Yeah.
And they were walking side to side, going down the hill. So going from like the left-hand side of the road across to the right, and then back again, just to reduce the amount that they're actually going straight downhill.
Oh, okay.
So it's quite clever, but you're
time consuming. So nice. See you later, fuckers. I'm going down here.
Yeah. So that was our little trip to Funchal, which was really good. Then we head off to the accommodation. We stayed at the south of the island. Beautiful, beautiful sunshine. It was like 28 degrees. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. Then we're sat there and we're planning our week. And we had quite an important thing we wanted to do. It was a big event that we wanted to be part of. And the next day we were going to go and do that.
Yeah.
But we didn't because of the rain. Because the weather wasn't looking so good. We thought, right, we're going to maybe do something else.
Yeah.
So we did. We went up to the north and got absolutely soaked.
Now this is the thing that you were telling me about.
Yeah.
So the south of the island, and like on the photos, it looks very sort of Spanish.
Yeah.
No, not Spanish. More like Nice. You ever been Nice?
Yeah.
A bit like that. Sun shining all the time. Nice, it's all clean over there anyway. But You know, you have that nice sunny vibe. The town has sun. You know, you can tell that it's a sunshine area. Like you show me the pictures, they've got banana plants on the south of the island.
Everywhere, yeah.
But the east, west and north of the island, no banana plants. So it just goes to show how is it topographical?
Yeah, topographical.
Topographical way the island is and where the mountain range is, how it affects the weather each side of the island. So this is legit what Jamie's talking about. So the north, every picture is grey clouded,
pretty cloudy,
and there's water in the air. And yet when you go the other side of the mountain to the south, it's dry air and
sunshine
warm
again.
and sunshine. Yeah, you can literally walk through the door, and you're like one door to the other, and it's just mist, sun, mist.
Yeah,
sun.
It was such a funny thing, because we were out there on this other day, and we're getting soaked with the rain as we're walking along this hike. And it was quite a long hike. I think it was nearly 10 miles we walked.
Yeah. Oh yes, because of the picture you showed us.
Yeah,
so that was the top one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Going through some caves, had a head torch on.
Yeah,
which is quite good. We didn't have jackets because we looked at the weather forecast before we left.
Yeah.
And it just said bright sunshine all the time.
In the south of the island.
In the south, from Funchal, south of the island, bright sunshine. No
Yeah.
messing. Right,
Drove
great.
to the north.
Went for a walk, got wet.
Yeah.
And it was up high. It was on a mountain. And when you look off the side, all you can see is mist.
Yeah, so if you fell down,
you wouldn't even know.
You know, the Congo gorillas will have you. There's no gorillas, by the way. The photo looks like you went from Nice to the Congo.
Yeah.
And I'm going to reference things like this the whole way through because it's literally it's so crazy from the photos how you go from your banana plants, you know, villa-esque, Spanish beach town to there's probably gorillas in there. And you can get lost.
It's lush.
It's like the Amazon rainforest up there. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we finished that walk. Thought it was going to be raining everywhere. Got back in the car, absolutely soaked. Started driving back. Suddenly, sun's out because we're hitting the south of the island.
In the south of the island, get out of the car, dry off.
Yeah, as soon as we get back to the accommodation, that's it. It's dry and sunny, and we're like, oh. Okay. We sort of cancelled the rest of the day because it was so wet and because we were proper.
You were drenched.
Yeah. This wet through. So, yeah. The next day we went and did. What we did was we got up really early to go to Pico de Arriero, which is it's not the highest peak, but it's near enough.
Yeah.
As high as it gets.
Yeah. To
watch the sunrise.
Yeah. And these photos are beautiful.
Yeah.
I've seen them.
Really, really happy with it. So we got there about 6:45. First light was just after 7. Sunrise was just before 8.
Yeah.
So we sat there for an hour.
Freezing your bollocks off.
So cold.
Yeah.
And like I say, no coat.
No coat.
Didn't
Up
have
a
beanie.
mountain.
Up a mountain.
Above the cloud line.
And it was a blanket of clouds.
Yeah. There's a photo Jamie's taken, and it's of the town at the bottom of the mountain with all its lights on, and obviously it's pitch black down there.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't even know the sun was coming up.
No.
But where Jamie was sat, there's a blanket of cloud above this town, and then it's like glorious sunshine. It's literally like there's a bed roll.
It's lit up, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were sat, according to the sign, over 1,800 metres up.
Jeez.
Which is, not...
Yeah, that's a good little feat to get up there.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't walk up there.
No.
We drove up there because it's very well.
You were hard, didn't you? Says me, who'd only did one mountain in Wales.
Yeah, if we wanted to walk up there, we probably would have had to have set off about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's a long old slog, isn't it?
So, probably not. Probably better we could have driven. But yeah, we watched that sun come up. It was obviously really, really good.
Yeah, magical.
Yeah. Chilly until the sun came up. But once the sun came up and we got moving again, then I was just sweating. I was too hot.
Yeah.
So
buckets.
That was it. It was time for the hoodie to come off. Thankfully, I had the hoodie. I wasn't even going to take a hoodie.
Yeah.
But Sherry was like, "Oh yeah, but you're going to go up the mountain. It's going to be cold." I was like, "Yeah, but not that cold. It's going to be 20 odd degrees,
Yeah.
like high 20s. Lows are only going to be like 15. I reckon at the top of that mountain though. Maybe
It must
was
have been about 5 degrees.
Yeah, probably was before
Yeah.
the sun came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. What I would say as well is we really worked out at this point how busy things get.
Yeah.
I've never been anywhere as busy as this, except for like a theme park.
That's crazy to say. What a weird thing to sort
Yeah,
of...
so it. First of all, we noticed it in Funchal when we did the tobogganing. There was a queue, and the guy at the desk said, "Yeah, it's about an hour for the queue." I mean, we probably got through in about 40 minutes or so, but it was still a long time. The queue just kept going and going and going, but it moved reasonably quickly. And we just thought maybe it's just because we're in town, so that's just how it is. So I didn't really worry about it too much. And then when we did the rainy walk, we turned up at the car park. The car park's not massive, but we turned up about, I think we were just after 9 o'clock or so.
Yeah.
The car park was nearly full, but we got a spot.
Jesus.
And then didn't think anything of it, except for the fact that as we were walking, there was a lot of people. And
Yeah.
I thought, no, we don't get that normally here. If you go for a walk somewhere,
You might see one other person, maybe a dog
yeah, you
walker
see
or
a
something.
handful of people, but like you're not getting in your way.
Yeah.
It's not usually that big a deal. When we did the sunrise, we were driving up the side of the mountain. Took us ages before we even found another car.
Yeah.
Then when we arrived at the car park there was only a handful of other cars in front of us.
Yeah.
Like maybe 10 max.
Yeah.
As we were there and we sat on the side of this mountain, we could see the road coming up, and it was a constant queue of
Jeez,
cars
of
coming
people
up.
coming up the mountain.
Yeah, and it was unreal how many, like mind-blowing, how many cars were coming up.
Yeah.
And as we went to leave and we looked at the car park and then followed the road down, it was just an endless number of cars coming all the way down. And at that point we decided, if we're going to do anything, we're going to start early.
Yeah.
Because
to get the car somewhere safe so you can get it back out again.
yeah, and then this was then solidified by the day after. In fact, actually, this was solidified about 2 hours later because we went and did another walk,
Yeah.
and we parked up in a proper parking space, but there's only like I don't know, half a dozen spaces.
Yeah.
We found a spot there, parked up, had a little walk down to where these routes started. When we came back from the first route, which was only a 1.5 kilometres out, 1.5 kilometres back, obviously,
Yeah.
the road was now full of
Oh yeah,
cars.
that's the picture you showed me. So the cars were all lined up down the
no,
road.
No, that's not even that one. This is beforehand. That was the balcony one. So you know.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, that was the picture with the balcony, yeah,
and the radio tower
and the
in the
radio
background.
tower, yeah.
That road, in between the two little routes that were there, was then now chock-a-block with cars where it wasn't when we first turned up.
Crazy.
But I think what's happened is all the people who've gone from the first part we were at
Yeah,
have finished there, jumped in their car and done the same as us.
yeah.
But we, because we were quite quick,
Got a decent space
spot.
and sort of got out.
and then everybody else turned up, and it was chaos. Like there was buses and whatever trying to squeeze down these roads,
Where people have just parked their cars.
and people do just leave their cars everywhere.
Yeah.
And then again, the bit you're referencing was the next day. We turned up at a spot. I think we were the 7th car there.
Yeah.
By the time we were finished, the car park was chock-a-block. People were struggling to park. The roads up and down.
For a mile each side.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's unreal how busy these places are.
But then, like you said, driving around town, there's no cars on the road.
No. And driving around the motorway, well, it's not even really a motorway, top speed you can do. I think the fastest advertised speed limit I saw was 100 kilometres an hour.
Yeah.
And that was a very, very short part. Everything else, maximum, pretty much was 90,
Yeah.
which I think works out as about 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, 50 miles an hour is 90 kilometres, yeah, I think so.
And you can't really go faster than that anyway because of
No,
the roads.
it's too windy.
It's too windy.
It's a mountainous, sort of place, isn't it?
But there's not that many cars about.
Until
until you park up somewhere to go and have a walk, and you go, right, what?
Where have all these people come from?
Yeah.
Like, these cars must click out of the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was mind blowing how busy the whole place was, but not when you're driving around.
Yeah. Yeah.
That third day where we went for the other walk, every day we left early. We wanted to get there just for like sunrise, not because we wanted to see the sunrise, but more because that's going to be the best time to arrive somewhere where you can see where you're going.
Yes.
And everybody else hasn't quite got there
in
yet.
your way.
Yeah, so you start, and there's always a couple of people about.
Yeah.
But you can just get on.
Hmm.
So that was the plan. And if anybody wants to go at Madeira, I would say
plan to do stuff early.
And do it really early.
Yeah.
And then just spend the afternoon relaxing in your accommodation or whatever, because then it gets hotter anyway. You probably want to be...
I was going to say, it's probably quite nice to do it earlier, because you can walk around and not sweat yourself to death.
Yeah.
And then in the afternoon when it's really hot, that's when you go and have your siestas and your bloody wine and whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's... Yeah, but the video of the drone was really nice, because at the top there on that third day, that's where the mountain plateau was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's so flat up there. Because it's a volcanic island, you would think it's literally like spiky mountain ranges almost.
And I think it is for the most part, but yeah,
that one bit you took, it was literally flat.
You pointed that out, and you went, "Oh, it looks very flat," and I thought, "Yeah, it does look really flat, doesn't it?"
Yeah, but again,
because I haven't really reviewed the footage until.
Until we had a look earlier.
Yeah.
Oh wow, there you go. Then.
I'd seen like bits and pieces. I'd sort of scrubbed through and sort of gone, yeah, it's all there.
Yeah. But look, because we were saying again with the, because obviously I said about it looking like the Congo, that side of the mountain, but then up there, some of the stuff looked like New Zealand bloody mountain ranges from the Hobbit film.
Yeah.
Like, this island's got everything. It's like everything rolled into one.
It really does, and including something that looks like a desert / Marsscape.
Yeah, it's got cactuses and red sand.
Yeah, so on the west side of the island, there's cactus.
Yeah, with red sand, and the east is like clay mud, Kenya. Is that the picture?
That was, I think, what you're thinking of was more in the middle, more north middle. The bit on the east was where it was the point.
Oh, the big point coming out.
And then I took a picture of the entirety of Madeira.
Yeah, from that point.
From the point looking back.
Yeah,
which is quite good. But it's where the lava, I think,
has flowed down over.
Yeah, and you can sort of see the layers.
Oh, sure, sorry.
You can see the layers of like where it's settled, and then there's been another layer come on top. And
and it's just all very colourful and sort of stringy. Yeah,
but it's very dusty as well. Like, you wear glasses because it's going to get in your eyes.
Yeah. Oh, you got it in my eye. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So good. And then went still up there, and then you also had the old radio tower. And the pictures are just lovely. And and it's you don't realise from the pictures how high up you are until you got the drone video up, and then you're at that tallest point. But you send the drone up. What was it? How many meters?
Yeah, so it'll go legally 120 meters. I can send up, but I think I had about 100.
Yeah.
Above where we were.
But you couldn't even see you.
No, and I could point out where I was. Yeah, I could show you where I was, but I was a speck on the screen.
Yeah, you were like a little pixel. But yeah, the terrain and the differences, and that drone video is actually really nice.
Yeah,
and when it goes over. And sort of pans over,
It's a shame that we could only do the drone once.
Yeah.
And that's just a mixture of... A lot of the walks were well covered, like with trees and whatever, so there wasn't really space to send it up.
Yeah. You need a sort of open area, don't you? For it to do the homing signal, I can land here safely thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can land it myself, but it's nice to... It's just better... to have space in case things happen, and it's just easier.
And you need to access,
a lot of it was would have been difficult for the drone, but I'm glad that we got it up there at least once and we could have a look around.
Yeah.
You know, quite enjoyed the drone flying through the clouds.
Yeah. Oh, that one shot of it going through the cloud. It's like the start to a Universal film.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, overall, the whole trip was so good. Like, I just really enjoyed it. Yes, sometimes the weather was a little bit miserable, misty. The clouds sort of roll around on the top of those mountains. So if you're up there doing the walks, you can't always expect to have good views.
Yeah, because there's that photo where it's like the 100-foot drop, or whatever it were, and it's literally blanket fog mist, and you can't even tell that the ground ends.
I think one of the pictures I showed you was, it almost looked like I was taking a picture looking dead ahead.
Yeah.
Like I could have been taking a picture of a forest ahead.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell that I was actually looking down because it's just white.
Yeah.
There's no end. There's
fog.
there's nothing. There's nothing there.
Oh yeah, absolutely crazy. And the little volcanic pool there with the tidal, and the tidal's going into it, and the mad people in there.
Yeah.
Jesus, I'll be a bit scared of that.
It would have been nice to go in, but I think I would have liked the sea to be a little calmer.
Yeah, it was rough on that little video you took.
It was pretty rough. But that was on the north side, so the north seems to get
all the crap.
Yeah, the inclement weather.
Yeah. I wonder if that's just where the way the tidal things are. So like it's slamming the island from that side, and it's bringing all that stuff in from the. Is it the Atlantic?
Yeah, so it's in the Atlantic. I imagine what it is from the north. You've obviously got like Europe. You've got us. You've got like Iceland and the North Pole, etc.
Yeah, and it's all cold stuff,
and it's all coming down. But from the other side,
it's equator.
Warm. Yeah, exactly. It's dry,
and they're sort of smashing in the middle, which makes sense as to why there's clouds always, you know, on the north, because the hot air and the cold air is just going,
and they just get trapped on the mountain.
Yeah.
Because it's got a huge valley that runs through it, and I think there will be multiple valleys throughout. But where those are, I think it just brings the clouds in to sort of settle and just
sits in there, a bit like us with our Test Valley.
Yeah.
Because the clouds do sit. If it's a cloudy day, they just sit there all day, and they don't move until the sun burns them off, which is weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I couldn't believe the cactus on one side, and then the sort of Kenya-looking Ben Bow trees or whatever they're called on the other side.
Baobabs.
Baobabs, that's it.
Yeah,
Ben Bow.
Yeah, they're not exact. I don't know what sort of trees they actually are. Then
they just looked. They looked like it.
They have that kind of like African
vibe.
Stuff.
The soil was red because it's obviously got a bit of clay in it or whatever.
But it was misty as well.
So
they looked kind of weird,
ethereal.
Like, there was kind of a sort of a mystic.
Yeah, a little vibe there.
Look to them.
Take a shroom and run around a block of circles like the Vikings used to. You know. Yeah. No, great photos. I'm glad you had a nice time. Lots of walking. I'll tell you what, when I think about holidays, I'm like, do you know what? I'll do enough walking. Maybe I just want to chill. But actually, going and doing stuff, and obviously you've planned it and you've gone early. Like doing the sunset thing would have been amazing. Oh, I would have loved that.
Yeah.
And I could have done a few walks like you did, and then, like you say, spent the afternoon back at the villa going, you know what, that was bloody awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done for the day now. And that was a really nice thing to do on holiday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was so good. And such variety as well.
Yeah.
Like if we wanted to just, they don't really have beaches there in the same way. Like there's a lot of pebble beaches and whatever.
Yeah. And cliffs. It's very cliffy, isn't it? Because of the volcanic thing. It's all very cliff.
It is. There are a couple of beaches there. There's a black sand beach and there's another sort of more traditional beach there as well.
In the south, obviously.
In the south, yeah. So if you're into beaches, then I suppose you could go there, but that's not really it's not my vibe.
No. Don't want to get sand everywhere.
but you could just sit and just relax. If you're in the south, the sun's out most of the time, so you could
just eat a banana, relax.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When we turned up, the guy so it was an Airbnb, and the guy who opened the door for us, he's also a farmer.
Oh, okay.
And so he's got bananas.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Yeah, fruit bowls there. These are bananas that I picked."
Yeah,
And so they were like fresh, proper fresh bananas.
proper fresh. No
Yeah.
sort of additives or keeping them safe. They're like, yeah, eat them.
And they were
I bet they were delicious.
Yeah, they were delicious. They were good bananas.
I love a nana.
Yeah.
Love a nana, me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, yeah, because Airbnb is really good, because even if you're in another country, they can access your profile to see if you've got good reviews or not.
Yeah.
And then they can decide whether to let you have the room. So, but it's so good that it's multicultural, so, you know, he's obviously reading that 2 Brits are coming over, and he's probably going, oh, bloody hell, Brits. Oh, hang on a minute, he's actually got some good reviews.
Yeah.
This is going to be fine. And he's going to leave the place clean and tidy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Which obviously we do.
Well, obviously you do, yeah, because, you know, we're not
Animals.
twats. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the pictures look so good. So you did the east. What did you do in the west?
Well, there wasn't too much to see in the west. It's kind of... We drove around there. That's where we saw the Dust Devil.
Oh, yeah, that little vid where you just caught the end of it.
We caught the very end of it, which was a shame, because it actually was quite cool.
Yeah.
It sort of appeared, and it lasted for maybe 10 seconds, and then it was gone, but by the time I'd sort of seen it and gone, video, and then by the time I sort of set it up, it was like, and it's dying.
Yeah, it's died out, yeah.
And it didn't reappear, which was a shame. Yeah, there wasn't loads to do over that way.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know what's...
You think every quadrant of the island would have sort of... Considering they're all so different, you would have other stuff to do.
Yeah, we just sort of did it on... We did a trek around the west. I drove around there, went to the point, had a look around, went, yeah, this is cool, this little lighthouse.
Yeah.
Went to see the lighthouse, obviously.
Obviously.
And then carried on up to the north, realised it was grey. That was when we saw the volcanic pools.
Yeah.
Thought, right, weather's miserable, great. Drove south again. Oh, look,
weather's
it's
lovely.
sunny.
Yeah. Weather's lovely. What do you want to do then? Well, we'd already planned to do nothing. So.
Yeah, we sort of worked through this bit already. Yeah, it wasn't loads over there. The east side, that was a little trek across that little hike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I showed you a picture where I looked back towards the rest of the island.
Yeah, so you showed me the airport runway at the south, but you're stood on the east point, sort of looking into town, aren't you?
Yeah. So from that point, I could see the south of the island, and I can see the north of the island because of the shape of it.
And you could actually see the clouds on the north. Yeah. You could literally see the difference between that island gets the sun, side of the island. That other island gets sun, but it's more like, misty, foggy, darker. That's why the vegetation's so different, because we said, didn't we? It's like Jurassic Park one side.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like Amazon rainforest the other, where it's always like it's wet.
Yeah.
And it's very fern-like.
Yeah, I think they describe it as the Hawaii of Europe or Hawaii of the Atlantic.
Yeah, it's the Atlantic, you said to me earlier.
Yeah,
Hawaii of the Atlantic. Yeah.
And because it is just where those sort of mountains just rise up.
Yeah.
And they're just green covered all the way to the top, and they're quite, It's
beautiful. It's not just like a big rock sticking out in the ocean. It is, there's vegetation there, soil. They obviously grow stuff, look after themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely worth going to. If you're somebody that likes going on holiday but also likes to explore, this is a really good place.
Holiday,
But just be aware that the place does get busy.
Yeah. And you've got to rent a car you've got to be a confident driver, because it's all windy mountain roads.
It is all windy mountain roads, but I really enjoy driving it.
Yeah, but you're a confident driver, you see.
I suppose I am, so it's
this
difficult.
This is what I'm saying. Be a confident driver, because, it can be difficult. Because then, like, the road with the waterfall hitting it.
Yeah.
Like, some people would get nervous because, oh, God, the road's really wet.
Yeah,
but actually, it's all right.
So that road, yes, the waterfall lands in the road, and some people do drive through it, but I don't think you're supposed to.
You're supposed to go round it.
I think you can, like if people were doing it, but what we did was we just parked in front of it, like I don't know, half a kilometre away from it, and then we just walked the rest to get there.
Yeah, and have
just
a look
to
at
see
it.
Yeah, so it was. It's not that bad. Yeah, the key thing is if you want to go, is just go to places early.
Yeah.
You know, when you
miss the rush.
Yeah, if you look online and you see which routes are the ones to hike or whatever, any of them which are going to be popular, you
Get there early.
Get there for sun up, because it's
Not only is it beautiful, it's quiet.
it's quieter, yeah, which is so much easier, and it was warm as well. Like, it's not even cold at that time,
Yeah, yeah,
like, unless you're actually up the mountain,
yeah,
sitting above the clouds with
Yeah.
no protection from any sides whatsoever.
yeah. You would be cold doing that. But yeah. Oh, it's so cool. I love the photos. It's a shame that people can't see the photos as we're talking about it, because I'd love for people to see the difference in terrain and the sort of,
Yeah,
you know, you've got your Lord of the Rings, you've got your Simba, you've got your,
yeah,
you know, the other side, the desert, you know, you're on Mars, and then you go down south and it's just typical holiday home, you know.
Yeah, it is,
you got the
yeah.
Brazilian favela there in the crater of the mountain,
yeah,
and it literally does look like a favela,
yeah,
you know, and you just like, how many different, because it's all Portuguese obviously, you know, which is fair enough, but how they adapt and how they all live. And if you live on the north side of the island, it's surprising that people live in the north side, because obviously humans all live anywhere that they're settled. But if the sun's always at the south, you'd think the north would be abandoned and everybody would just move to the south of the island. It's weird, isn't it?
I would agree with you, except for the fact that we don't live there. So from our little tiny nation here,
Yeah,
we crave the sun because we don't get a lot of it.
yeah,
But if you're there and it's still 25 degrees on the north, but it's cooled down by the fact that you do get like a misty rain, or you just get some cover,
yeah.
cloud cover.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
It's probably more comfortable being up there.
Yeah.
But-
No, you're right, yeah.
But
yeah.
living in the south is probably the tourist kind of.
Oh, this is it, yeah, because the airport's there as well. So when people land, that is the tourist area. The sun's there. Come to sunny, you know,
Yeah,
Madeira. But yeah, when you get north, yeah, because yeah, you know, it's the thing, and it's probably more fertile there because you get fertile land, and if they farm, and I'll be interested to know if they feed themselves or how much they have to import.
yeah. I don't think anything was massively expensive, like in the supermarkets or whatever.
Yeah,
Not that I could work out. You know, the wine was fairly cheap, so
oh yeah, of course.
happy days.
Stocked up a bit on that, didn't you? Eh? That'll make them blisters go away.
Oh yeah. They certainly would forget about them.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't. They will have to import stuff, obviously, because they're only a small island. But if you want bananas, then it's all
there
there.
you go.
They must grow a lot of stuff themselves, because you've seen how green it is.
Yeah, they must do.
That volcanic soil.
Oh, it's like
Will be
that'll be one of the most richest, you know,
Yeah.
areas to grow
Yeah.
stuff.
So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting question, but one I don't have an answer for.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I just love pondering stuff like that. It always makes me interested how islands like that function, because you would be like, if you grew the right foods, and say the island is in 4 quadrants and every quadrant's different, you could grow your bananas in the south and your fruit and veg.
Yeah.
In the north, you could maybe produce meat, because obviously cows don't care whether it's sunny or not.
Yeah.
In fact, they'll probably do better without the sun on them every day,
Yeah,
baking them to death. You know, you could have your vineyards for other fruit, and on the east side, sort of, I don't know, have little crops or whatever. But yeah, but it's always interesting how they don't do that, and they go, yeah, it looks really lovely, but all of the tourist money goes on getting a massive shipping to bring all the food over, you know, because there's also, you know, everywhere's overfished, so we can't feed ourselves with fish because we need to protect the fish, and it's like, also can't just live off nanas, so you know, everybody would be clogged up for weeks. So yeah, I don't know why it interests me. It's just very much like, why wouldn't you try and feed yourselves? It's not a bad thing that they're doing it, of course, you know, it's not a bad thing, and it's just the way the world is because of laws and regs and stuff like that. But
yeah, like when going around like some of the shops, there was a lot of like emphasis on like fish, fresh fish, and that sort of thing. And
yeah, they've caught it.
yeah, I think that is probably quite a big part of it for them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I imagine a lot of the produce they've got, like the fruit and the veg and whatever,
Is homegrown.
probably, yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, good. That's really good though.
Yeah.
And they've got the climate for it, and they've got the wind turbines at the top as well, haven't they?
Yeah,
So they produce their own sort of power and
Yeah.
keep it, and I like that because it's up the mountain out the way.
You can't see it unless you're up another mountain.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fine.
Which is what a great thing.
Excuse me.
It's like somebody's thought about it, unlike this country, and they've gone, yeah, they're a bit of an eyesore, but we do need them for power.
Yeah.
Where's the most wind? Up the top of the mountain. Should we build them up there then? Yeah, yeah. Instead of here, where it's like, it's windy up that mountain, should we build them in this farmer's field then? Down here where there's no wind?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Yeah.
Get in everybody's way and make it all horrible to look at. But yeah, like, some countries are just doing it right, aren't they? And I'm glad you had a nice time, and yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I love little islands like that.
Yeah, I'm glad I went.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very good. And I'm glad, I enjoy the way Sherry holidays, because she doesn't sit around.
Yeah, it's not just pool, sitting by the pool all day.
She's not interested. Same
No.
as me. Like, I understand why people do it. It's quite nice to sit and do nothing, but I couldn't do that for an entire week.
Oh, God, yeah.
You need to go and do something. You need to have a look around and
explore. Listen to people talk their language,
Yeah, Sherry does it good.
Yeah.
She knows what to do.
Yeah. I would be knackered the amount of walking you did.
Yeah, you probably would.
But then, like you say, if you're relaxing for a couple of hours in the afternoon and you've had dinner, you're like, oh, yeah, I feel good now, actually.
Yeah, by the time we got to the end of the week, I'd had enough of walking.
Yeah.
But it's not that I'd had enough because I was bored of walking. It was just that I could just feel my legs were just...
Yeah, you've done this every day now.
Yeah.
And it's taken its toll.
I needed a couple of days off.
Yeah.
So...
But, yeah. But it's like it's nice how your holiday, and the photos you got show that. Because you wouldn't get the photos of the caves, or you wouldn't get the photos of the Congo bit. You wouldn't get the photos of the top of the mountain if you didn't go and explore and say, do you know what? I'm going to have a look over there. Because it's mental big.
Yeah.
For a tiny island on the map. Like when you did the drone, like you can't see the edge of the island, can you?
No.
Which is mental because it's so small.
Yeah, but it is and it isn't. Like, it is small, but it's not like it's not like the Isle of Man or Jersey or anything. But like, it's. I know what you mean. Like, you think if you took the drone up high,
you could maybe see.
But there's also a lot of cloud cover, so I don't know how much you would see or not see.
Yeah.
But then you're also stuck in the middle of mountains, so sometimes it's hard to sort of see past that anyway.
Yeah. Oh,
there you go.
So good.
Right, well, I think I've waffled on enough about that.
Hey, well, it's been lovely to hear about your holiday. We should just have a little button so if people press their headphones, and it can be like, if we're talking about a photo, in their mind's eye, they just see this photo that I'm talking about. How cool would that be?
Well, wait a few months, and hopefully there'll be a video, and you can go, oh yeah, you went there. Oh, I remember talking about that. So
yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, well, gotta get this other one done first.
Yeah, you hurry up with that one, and then you hurry up with this one.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
He's a busy boy, people.
Right,
He's a busy boy.
Yeah.
This is where he goes, do you know what? I didn't press record.
Oh, no. Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's leave it there. Pleasure talking to you as always.
And you, good sir, I'm glad you're back.
Yes, glad to be back. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
And you, mate. Missed you.
Right. Be good.
Look. You caught me off guard there with the be good. You look after yourself. Look after yourself.
Be good.
And you stay out of the sand. You little psych.
You little monkey.